Mic check 1 2. What it do? Welcome back to the Mic Check podcast. It's T Word, the People's Champ. Today we're talking about Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney at 140 pounds. But before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get right into it. As you can see on the screen, we got a good WBC title match for the super lightweight belt that Regis Prograis earned a little over a year ago. This is his second title reign, so he's a two-time champion, and he's looking to defend that against a guy who's moving up from 135 pounds. We're talking about the former undisputed lightweight champion Devin Haney, who went into Australia and took 3 belts from George Kambosos and then went back down there and kicked his ass again just to prove he was the man at 135. He followed those efforts up with a win over what a lot of people consider one of the futures of boxing at one point, one of the biggest names in boxing, Vasyl Lomachenko, in a controversial decision that I thought was an obvious win for Devin Haney. However, a lot of people scored it 7-5, even 8-4 Loma's way. I had it closer to 7-5, 8-4 for Haney. I thought he did everything he needed to do, and when you're facing the champion, you have to take the belt from the champion, and I just feel that Lomachenko didn't do that. So all of these efforts, I mean, he's got some pretty good stuff on his resume, winning undisputed on the road, out of the country, and then coming back home and defending your belt against one of the biggest names in your division. I think solidifies him as a marquee fighter, number one, and a person to be reckoned with in and around 135 pounds, as well as 140, and maybe even as high as 147 at some point in the near future. So going into this fight, he's trying to conquer his second division, junior welterweight or super lightweight, if whatever you want to call it, 140 pounds. And his first task is going to be a very game and tough opponent in Regis Prograis, who I think obviously has a power advantage, and that's kind of the biggest thing. His awkward style can be considered an advantage as well, but I think Devin Haney, from a boxing style standpoint, has the advantage, as well as footwork. He doesn't waste motion, but he is somebody that is not known as the biggest puncher, and that means that he doesn't exactly sit down on his punches, and it kind of gets in the way of him being effective in the pocket at times. And I think that's a place where Regis might be able to take advantage and make it an ugly, rough fight. And we know that Devin Haney doesn't really prefer to fight rough, so I think it's a good style clash. It's going to be very entertaining as a main event. You know, I'm kind of tied to Rougarou because he's from New Orleans, so I like to root for my home people. You know, the Texas guys, when they fight, I root for them, and he's kind of a Texas/Louisiana guy just like me, so I can't help but want to see him do well. But I feel like Devin Haney's skillful boxing is going to be the difference, and I kind of pick him to win by decision, but I think that it's going to be a very competitive fight for 12 rounds, and we'll probably get a new WBC super lightweight champion. And I don't know what that means for Regis Prograis from here, and that's something that, if he is in fact the loser at the end of this, we'll talk about it in the after video. But I don't want to put it in the air that, you know, he's going to lose in that way. I think that from a skill standpoint, Devin Haney's ability to control distance and do little things that are going to be good for the judges to see will be enough. And then Regis, in his last fight against Zerillo, I don't know what I'm thinking here. He didn't look his best, and that might be why he actually got this fight, because he didn't look his best. So he looked like a cherry pick at 140, and if Rolly Romero wasn't available, this is going to be the next weakest champion, because you don't want to bring Devin up from 135 to 140 and face Matias. And the explosiveness of Teofimo Lopez coming off a Josh Taylor win, I don't think you want that smoke either. So this was something that could be managed. He's already done business with the zone, so being able to go over there and get a fight set up, I guess, makes sense. But ultimately, I think head to head, the clash of styles is going to be what makes it so fun to watch, because you're going to be wondering, can Regis close distance, get inside, and make Devin Haney fight? Or is Devin Haney going to be able to use Regis like a puppet, and maybe even use his aggressive nature against him and get him to whiff a lot, have a lot of ugly misses, and connect with some really good shots, even if they're not big power shots? Now, also on this card, a few other things you might be interested in watching. You've got Ebony Bridges against Avril Matthew. This is going to be for Ebony's IBF bantamweight title. And you might know her. She goes by, I don't know, she says skanky stripper or something like that. Not that matters, but she usually dresses pretty provocatively at the weigh-ins. But she's actually a pretty decent boxer, a little bit older, like many of the women are. But I think she has great skill. Well, no, I'm going to say very good skill, but she also has great power, and I've seen her stop a couple of people. So I think it'll be a good, entertaining fight early in the card. Followed by Andy Cruz. He'll be facing Hector Tanayara. This is going to be 10 rounds for the IBF Intercontinental title. I don't know how Andy Cruz got an Intercontinental title in his second fight, in his first fight, but he's got a belt already at 135 pounds, so he's looking to make a name for himself at 135 really quick and get in title contention. And now that all these belts are breaking up because Haney's vacated everything, he's got a real good shot at that belt. Liam Paro and Montana Love, this should be pretty good. Paro has the WBO Global Super Lightweight, so this is another 140 belt. Montana Love is looking to be one of the future noisemakers at 140, which by his build I think he's gonna end up at 47, but I know a lot of these dudes is gonna hang at 140 until Boots move up, which won't be too long from now. Boots probably get another belt and then he off to 54, and then you'll see some of these big 140s move up real quick, so we'll see how that goes. But that should be a pretty entertaining fight. 12 rounds for the global belt, and then finally your main event of Haney and Prograis. So pretty good card on DAZN this weekend. Obviously it's pay-per-view, so get your $60 together, tune in, and this is going to be starting at, let's get the statistics on the start time. So it's going to be 8 p.m. This fight is in California, but 8 p.m. Central Time on DAZN pay-per-view. So get your popcorn ready, for some entertaining fights, at least 4 entertaining fights on the card. And then we'll meet back here and talk about it after the fact. So, hey, this has been T for the Mike Check Podcast. Until the next time, Mike Check 1, 2, what it do, and I'm out. Peace.